Hey, what's good y'all? Tristan here, and today I'd like to share with you 10 differences between America and Australia. Real quick before we get into this video, I just wanted to say thank you so much to every single one of you who watches my videos. Before coming to Australia, I had no following really on YouTube, and yeah, I had no idea how many friends I'd make by staring into a camera and talking about Australia, but it's been such an awesome journey. I feel so incredibly lucky, and I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you who watches these videos. I make these videos because I enjoy sharing my experiences and I love documenting my adventures. And while I do make some money on YouTube, small creators like me don't make a whole lot, and sometimes it can be really hard to work full-time to fund my adventures and also do this on the side. However, I'm going to be doing this new thing where if you want to show your support or appreciation for these videos, you can do that by buying me a coffee. It's very simple. I'm going to put a link in the top line of this description. You can just click on it and you can support me by buying me a $4 cup of coffee. I don't want anyone to feel obligated to do this. There's no pressure at all. It's just an option. If you want to help support me make these videos, that is something you can do. One thing I should note, because I've said before that I don't drink coffee, and that's true. For me, mine is buy me a pizza. It's a little slice of pizza. It's really buy me, it could be buy me a beer, buy me a coffee, buy me a pizza, whatever. It's just like a little $4 donation that you're making. The website that does it, it's just called Buy Me a Coffee, so that's why it says buy me a coffee. Anyways, that's it. Sorry for the long intro. You know I like to get right into my videos, so here we go. 10 differences between America and Australia. Let's get it. Number one, we got these flags on the beach. So, if you're an Australian, these are probably very standard to you. But if you're not from Australia, you have no idea what these flags mean. Those flags are, they put two of them up, and that is where you're supposed to swim when you're on the beach here. So if you see those flags, it's safe to swim in between them, but if you don't see those flags, don't get in the water, because there's probably a rip current or something that's gonna take you out to sea. It's dangerous to swim there, so don't swim when there's no flags. Number two is points on license. So here in Australia, there is a point system where if you get a ticket, that ticket might be worth 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And then once you get enough points, you lose your license. In America, we don't have this point system, so if you, let's say, got 10, 20 speeding tickets in a year, yeah, you'd have a whole lot of fines to pay, but yeah, I don't think you lose your license at any point. Number three is it is common to drop out of school after year 10 here. So in America, if you drop out of high school, you're considered a total loser. It is looked down on by everyone. There's no good reason to drop out of high school. No one's gonna hire you. It's gonna be pretty much impossible to get a good job. You're pretty much gonna have to be some super smart entrepreneur, start your own business and pave your own way for success, or you're gonna be stuck working a minimum wage job at McDonald's for the rest of your life. There's just not much good alternative to dropping out of school. However, here in Australia, it is actually fairly common to drop out after year 10 and become a tradie or pick up a trade. So if you dropped out at year 10, you would immediately get a job as an apprentice, becoming an electrician, plumber, chippy, bricklayer, one of those things, and you're making money these next couple years while your friends are still in school. On top of that, you're on your way to get certified as an electrician, plumber, carpenter, one of these things, and by the time you're I don't know, 19, 20, still really young, you will be a fully certified electrician, plumber, whatever it is that you're going for. And in Australia, once you get there, you'll be making good money. School is just not for everyone, and here in Australia, they do an amazing job at letting people still have career options in life without forcing them down the school route. In America, we pretty much make people beat their heads against the wall to get them through high school. Number four, you guys love to back into parking spots. So in America, if you go to a typical parking lot, I'm gonna say 80%, 90% of the cars are parked the front of the car into the spot. Here in Australia, I've noticed tons of cars back in, maybe 50% of the cars will be backed in. In addition, if you've ever seen those parking spots where you drive on a road and then they're the spots are at a 60-degree angle, you kind of go in like that. While in Australia, you would be going down the road and then you back into the spot, and then whenever you want to leave, you just drive forwards out of it. Small difference, but just something weird I've noticed. Number five is how they do Halloween and really holidays in general. So in the States, we do it big. We do holidays huge in the States, whether it's Halloween, whether it's Valentine's Day, whether it's even St. Patrick's Day, I don't know, Easter. We love to decorate our houses. If you go to a convenience store, grocery store, I don't know, Kmart, Walmart, any of those stores, there's at least an entire there's at least an entire section dedicated to that, that season. In Australia, that section will be about, I don't know, a third the size that it is in America. People, while they're spirited, they like to enjoy the holidays. I'm particularly talking about smaller holidays here, not Christmas and stuff. But they just don't they're not gonna go have as much decorating, do as much for the holiday, not get as much in the spirit. I just say holidays like Halloween, Valentine's Day, Easter, they're just not nearly as celebrated nearly as big here as they are in the States. Number six is jail time and incarceration rates. So in America, first of all, I think a lot of people know this, we are the #1 most incarcerated country in the world. Like, we have so many people in prison, it's ridiculous. In America, the incarceration rate is like around 660 per 100,000, whereas in Australia it's around 220. So 1/3 the amount of people in prison per capita here. But what I've also noticed is the prison sentences, like the length of time you go to prison for certain things, are like way less in Australia than they are in the States. All right, number 7 is something I just recently found out and it blew my mind, but apparently it's common in like big office buildings and like more modern, tall buildings, not like your average building, but like anyways, what it is the elevators here in Australia, you tell the elevator what floor you want to go to before you get into the elevator. And then once you're inside the elevator, there's no buttons. It just like teleports you to the floor that you selected before you got into it. So I don't know, that's kind of cool. I've never seen that in America, but yeah, I saw it for the first time here, and yeah, apparently it's a fairly common thing in like big, nice office buildings around here. Number 8 is sports. So in Australia, pretty much all the sports that are popular here aren't popular in America and vice versa. So if you think about it, top 3 sports in Australia are AFL, rugby league, and cricket. Obviously, we don't have Australian football in America. We don't really have cricket in America. I've never heard of like an American cricket league. I don't think it exists in America, at least not on a professional level. And then rugby, like, I've never met a rugby player. I don't know anything about rugby. I know it exists in America. Like, I think we might have an American team, but like, I don't know, I've never seen it on TV. Like, I don't know anything about rugby. I don't think we have it in America. If we do, it's super small. Meanwhile, in America, our big sports are American football, obviously not in Australia, baseball, not really in Australia, basketball, which they do have basketball in Australia, but it's not nearly as big as it is in America. Like, it's huge in America. And then you got all the smaller sports, like the Olympic sports, tennis, I don't know, golf, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Obviously, yes, they have them in both countries, but they're not nearly as popular as those 3 big sports in each country. But hey, if you want to know something that's similar about America and Australia, is soccer is not huge in either of them. I mean, soccer's big in America and it's big in Australia, but I wouldn't say it's a top 3 sport in either country, which is really weird, because like around the world, like, soccer's like almost the #1 sport like everywhere else. Like, it's huge. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. All right, number 9, this one, guys, this blows my mind. I don't understand it. So that is the homelessness in both countries. So you're probably gonna think I'm gonna say that there's a lot more homeless people in America, and that's what I was gonna say. So I think there are a whole lot more homeless people in America than Australia. You see them all over the streets in America, like they're everywhere. We have homeless shelters that are overflowing. Like, there are homeless people on every corner in America. They're everywhere. In Australia, I see so few homeless people. Like, you go to like one of the biggest cities, like Sydney, Melbourne, you walk around the streets, you'll see like probably not even a dozen homeless people, maybe a dozen. Like, you just don't see many homeless people. When going to look it up, I expected the homeless population in Australia to be like 1/10 per capita of what it is in America. Like, there's so few homeless people here. However, I looked it up because, you know, I wanted to get some stats on this, and there's actually way more homeless people in Australia than America. That made no sense to me. In America, there's just over 500,000 homeless people, while in Australia, there's a little over 100,000 homeless people, but the US is like 15 times bigger when it comes to the population. So per capita, there are only 17 homeless people in America per 10,000, while in Australia, it's closer to about 50 homeless people per 10,000. That's like 3 times as much as America, and there's no way this stat can be true. So I looked into it a little bit more, and all I can find is that it looks like the definition of homeless in Australia means not like, what was it, not sufficient, I don't know, I'll put it here, not like adequate housing. So you can still have a house, I guess, or a place to live, but if it's not adequate, you're still homeless. So they're just much more strict on what they define a homeless person as. So I couldn't find any good numbers to actually compare, but from my experience, there's way less homeless people in Australia. Like, it's 100% a fact, even though I can't find statistics to back it up. Number 10, the last one, that is that checkout at hostels or hotels or like Airbnbs, whatever. Typical checkout time in America is 11 a.m. and check-in time is 3 p.m. That's just standard at like 90% of the places you go to. Obviously not all of them. While here in Australia, standard checkout is 10 a.m. and check-in is 2 p.m. So it's an hour earlier. That's my 10 more differences between America and Australia, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate y'all for watching so much. And remember, if you want to help support me some more, you can do that by buying me a coffee. I'll link it right below. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.